Hey, what's up, guys? It's Trevor. And if you're a brand that's ultimately guessing with your ad testing strategy, I can almost guarantee it that you are burning cash. So today in this video, I'm going to give you a detailed, structured guide on how you can actually test creatives without actually burning through ad spend. And it's a strategy which I've never heard anyone else talk about as well, which I find quite interesting. But I'll just give you the full rundown here, and I'll go through each of the steps on how you can actually implement this, ultimately save more money, and then find the good creative ad unicorns, as they say, right? The ones that can actually blow up, give you amazing ROAS, etc. So let's get started. So first things first, this is the organic to paid creative testing system. And ultimately, this entire structure here is the pipeline of how we're going step by step through here. So first things first, we're going to start with here, step one. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be posting 2 to 3 creatives on TikTok. Now, first of all, these are going to be video creatives. You're not going to be testing statics this way. Now, first things first, an objection you may have, well, I don't know if my audience is going to be on TikTok. Well, it's probably still a good testing ground. There's also a pretty wide age range on TikTok now. It's not just young people, it's also people into their 30s and 40s, believe it or not. I was actually shocked to learn about that. Now, if you have a brand that's like 50 up, this may not be that good for you. But still, I think there could be some validation by doing this regardless, whether you have, a brand that's customer avatar is above 50, but still. So I would recommend it, even if you have a, customer avatar above 50, I still recommend it. So what you're going to be doing, again, posting 2 to 3 video creatives to TikTok per day. Now, these are going to be UGC, it's going to be founder led. It's going to be, so maybe you're the founder of an e-com brand, right? Or you have an e-com product. You're going to be making 2 to 3 video creatives per day. These are going to be mostly kind of raw. You don't have to make these super edited. Okay. That's also the beauty of this. You can kind of just like record and test the waters, see what actually is working before you even waste your time by editing. Now, this should also be on a second account. This shouldn't be on your main brand's TikTok account as well. And that's because you're basically just throwing out a bunch of different ideas to see what works. This is ultimately going to be your testing lab. All right. Now, let's move on to step 2. So when you're posting these videos, right, you're going to be posting for a couple different days, maybe, a week or more. Then when you get a video that has a 2 to 3x average, 2 to 3x higher views than average compared to the previous videos. So let's just say you have like 14 videos total that you posted. And as soon as you get like, 1 or 2 videos that has a 2 to 3x your average views on what you're normally getting, that's a pretty good sign, first of all. So that's very good to note. And if you have 15% plus watch time, or you have a high comment count, sorry, I messed that up. If you have a high comment ratio or a high save ratio, that's also a very good sign. So these could be potentially videos that you would then scale into an ad. Now, I also just want to note, it is very good to take a look at viral videos, right? Videos that go viral, viral ads, that type of thing. It's very good to look at those. But just because a regular organic video goes viral doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to convert into buyers. That's also something to note. But regardless, if you have a video under these specifications, right? 2 to 3x higher views than your average videos. If you have a 15% plus watch time or a high comment count to high save ratio, these are very good signs that you could potentially scale these into a good TikTok video, right? So then you have a good TikTok video. What you're going to do now is you're going to run it as an ad. You're going to potentially add captions, maybe a bit more editing, because like I said, with these 2 to 3 posts, it's going to be mostly raw, right? Mostly raw. You're not going to be adding much edits. Don't waste your time, that type of thing. Then, once you have a good video under these specifications, then you can add some captions, potentially add a little bit more overlays, maybe branding, edits, that type of thing. Then launch the ad, monitor, of course, your CTR, your CPC, ROAS, how's it doing, right? And then eventually when you have a unicorn creative, you'll have high CTR, low CPC, and you can potentially scale this ad on other platforms as well. Maybe not just Facebook, maybe YouTube, Google, right? And hell, even LinkedIn. And what I really like about this process and this pipeline is that ultimately you get less waste, right? Less burning of ad spend. A lot of brands, e-com brands especially, will, that I work with, they will just kind of throw out so many different ads, see what works. And if they have the budget to do so, then yeah, why not? Go ahead, just burn some cash. But if you're potentially a brand on a budget and you really just kind of want to play it a bit more safe while also testing the waters, I think this is a really good strategy to prevent just burning of cash on ad spend, and also finding what works, finding the winners. Now, once you ultimately have the ad unicorn, right, then what you can do is make more iterations of this ad in the future, because then you ultimately know, like, okay, this ad is ultimately killing it with ROAS. Let's try to make more iterations off of this style. So again, this is really just a cheap way of testing ads, figuring out what works, and it's by using the organic to paid creative testing system. So that's all I have for this one. If you guys want help producing your creatives, then use the top link in the description below. And yeah, that's all for this one. See ya.